So I've been away from YouTube now for around 3 weeks, and it's fair to say a lot of things have been happening. I mean, for one, it appears that Shane Dawson, during all of the cancellations and the exposés, has actually decided to have a little bit of a career change and become an Olympic sprinter. Now, personally, I can't stand the paparazzi. They do make me feel sick to my stomach. They are like vultures who simply just never leave. I don't even know how paparazzi still exist in the era of social media, but apparently people care about people like this and this for some odd reason. But I guess seeing Shane Dawson run it's entertaining, and I wonder if he got the gold medal. And in these 3 weeks of going away, this bloke has been doing a lot of things, this bloke has been doing a lot of things, this woman has been doing a lot of things, and even this woman has been doing, well, you guessed it, a lot of things. And we're going to kind of cover all of this today in kind of like a part 2 to a whole series of things. But also, I want to cover something I've recently discovered, which is Shane Dawson in a book, basically admitting that he created an account of a younger woman called Carol, of where he basically had the revenge idea of getting 18+ images from some of his schoolmates so he could post it around his entire school to get revenge. Yeah, that's a real thing that Shane Dawson actually admitted to.
Animal Protective Services are coming for me.
But before we go any further, I do just want to give you a little bit of a clarification of where I've actually been for the last 3 weeks. And I know most of you probably don't care, but I've just been feeling a little bit sad. Actually, I have actually felt a bit sad. Recently, today, I've actually discovered that one of my cats has passed away. Well, that's both of my cats in the last year now, which it sucks, and I may not seem to have any emotion on my face right now, but yeah, it's been a rough few weeks. So I'm gonna try and get content out for you guys because I love making videos and streaming on Twitch. But yeah, it's been rough. Let's play a Kenji clip to get the mood back up. Can we get some Kenji pogs in the comment section, please? Because that guy right there is a beast. But alas, welcome back to another video, my beautiful dumplings. I hope you're having a much better month than I am. In today's video, we're going to be talking about why I believe that Shane Dawson will never be able to make a comeback on YouTube. Part 2.
Okay, here's the thing. I know that I'm weird, and I know that my career's over, and I know that I'm just that crazy guy who buys weird toys.
So yeah, it basically seems that at this point Shane Dawson has pretty much admitted that his career is basically over. Now, a lot of people have been debating, well, not a lot of people, just me, myself personally, what actually constitutes to a dead YouTube career? How can you say that somebody's career is technically over on this platform? Because there are plenty of YouTubers out there that have become popular and then lost their popularity, but how do you overall define a dead career on YouTube? And that's probably why you should subscribe. Because look, I know I've said this a million times at this point, but actually I'm now trying to hit 1 million submaronis by April the 12th for a specific reasoning. I'm trying to hit it by April the 12th. So if you want to subscribe and join this amazing community, that would be absolutely wonderful, because we upload occasionally on this channel. We do live streams and it's a bloody load of fun time, and we've got a great loving community. So if you want to hit subscribe, you want to comment on the video and like the video, that would be absolutely fabulous. So yes, the term dead career, in my opinion, that mainly relates to a YouTube career. I mean, uploading on video, relevancy on the platform. I don't necessarily mean outside businesses, income coming from other things such as makeup, clothing. I mean overall relevance on the platform. Take Tyler Oakley, for example. His career is pretty much over in terms of YouTube. The views, the social blade, and also the apparent Heisenberg arc?
Hi everyone, my name is Tyler Oakley, and today...
This is my own private domicile and I will not be harassed! Bitch!
Not now! Not now! Sorry, I've been watching too much Breaking Bad recently. Basically, dead career, in my opinion, means I've got a bouncy chair, by the way. I bought a new chair and it's really springy and bouncy. But by dead career, I mean that, you know, your numbers aren't exactly going up. They're more going downwards and you're not really expanding your community. It's a natural progression for a lot of content creators. I almost spilled my drink. But every creator usually goes through the period of sadly becoming irrelevant. I've gone through it multiple times and I feel like I'm kind of irrelevant right now, but we won't talk about that. But with Shane and other creators such as Jeffree Star, it's a little bit different because they have this now declining sub-base, view base on YouTube, but they also have the entire YouTube community seemingly completely against them, and also their friends being apparently against them.
Have you thrown Jeffree away?
I think that friendship's done. I still have like a lot of like empathy for him because I know him as like a person, and I do feel like he does get some shit end on the internet. I think people love to, it's kind of like this, like what you were saying, but on a bigger scale, people like, it's cool to hate Jeffree sometimes. So and that's what I didn't want this to be, is like people, because my issue was this last year, and I did not want people to like be like, Shane, you know, he's also this and he's also that. Like, this was my own issue and it had nothing to do with their allegations. Yeah, I think our friendship is done just because, like, whatever.
Now, to be honest with you, I don't exactly think it's a cool thing to hate Shane Dawson or Jeffree Star. I merely think that a lot of people now are basically waking up and realizing that these two aren't exactly nice people and they're actually facing consequences for their actions of the last 10 years. I don't think it's really a cool thing. I just think it's mainly a lot of people are only now realizing that these two people aren't the best of two. Now, with Trisha Paytas, I take absolutely everything she says with a little bit of salt. I mean, actually not a little bit, like a bottle full of salt, because that person has a large amount of hideous takes and a large amount of hideous YouTube videos, but I do believe that there is a lot of truth that comes out of the Trisha Paytas Shane Dawson situation from a few weeks ago. And yeah, I think it shows that Shane is losing some of his friends and gradually losing the community that used to be there to support him and watch his videos. And to start it off with James Charles with what Shane Dawson originally dubbed as the humble pie, which Shane has now got a massive slice of that, but also the karma pie, and that was, I guess, heavily served up by Tati Westbrook.
I'm losing my mind. I'm losing my mind. This is so... This is... Oh my God. Okay. I'm live because I can't even process. I need a drink of water. I can't process this. This is insane.
Yeah, Shane, I actually agree. I don't understand why they gave Ben Solo three lines of dialogue. I mean, J.J. Abrams is schmuck. What? 3 lines? They ultimately were the best lines of the film, but like 3 lines. But yes, what I'm trying to say here is Shane is losing on all fronts. Friendship, Social Blade, Twitter, everything. And this also constitutes to Ryland and Jeffree Star, that whole group of the people involved in basically the 4 or 3 or 5,000 Dramageddons. And on my past, I have spoken about dead YouTube channels such as Zoella, Alfie Days, and looking back on it, whilst I think a lot of the things I was saying in those videos were correct, I also think there was a level of dehumanization, and that's a genuine, honest mistake on my part, and I would like to say I don't think I do that anymore. I like to take more empathetic approaches. I feel like I try to humanize creators as much as possible, and sometimes I do go a little bit naturally overboard when I'm trying to be funny and entertaining, but I feel like with this whole situation with Shane, it's very difficult to be understanding, because my understanding is that this guy is basically a bit of a bad person, well, a bad person who was completely swindled his audience, including me, and I've said this about 4 times at this point. I don't necessarily believe that Shane Dawson has been sat in a boardroom calculating a master plan of how he's going to manipulate his audience into believing that he's an empath. But I do definitely believe that Shane Dawson has intentionally played up to a lot of personas which have overall for the last few years convinced his own audience that he's not a bad person. He's put on a massive facade, and I guess it's kind of gone mask off recently, like completely mask off. I found this old like trailer image from Shane Dawson's series in the past, and it's kind of ironic to look at this because it's like Shane Dawson being unzipped, and you know that you can see it. It's ironic. Do I need to explain why? I originally thought that you could go from 2010 to 2021 to see that this guy is a complete and utter shady person, but now it stretches back to like 2002. Some of the things I'm going to show you very soon are genuinely quite terrifying, borderline evil.
Because I feel like I have not come across any less than a collaborative person. If you guys told me, like, hey, I think there's a lot of work to it, I'd be like, okay, great, let's do it.
You won't read the notes?
I want to see all the notes.
You said the opposite to me. And you specifically told me that night, you guys are going to send me the notes and I'm never going to read them.
I mean, as a joke.
But it's been a week and you haven't read them either, so I mean, that's...
I don't know where they are.
I'm sorry, I know those clips are quite old, but I'm never really going to get over the fact that he genuinely seemed to believe that his films were some like next level Scorsese shit, when in reality, my dog could take a dump and that would probably be more entertaining than not cool. But yes, Shane, Ryland and Trisha aside, a lot of the things that have been coming out recently about Shane have actually come from some of his old books from 2015. Yes, these pieces of garbage right here. I don't know what it is, but there's like this really weird trend of where somebody will seemingly be a pretty normal, nice human being, and then they'll write a book and expose themselves for being an absolutely terrible person. And by that, I mean Shane Dawson and J.K. Rowling. I don't actually know who's worse, though, so if you want to go to the comments and let me know who out of Shane and JK is actually worse. So yes, in this book right here, which was released in around 2015-2014 time, Shane Dawson basically admitted that in his childhood teenage years, he created a fake profile of a girl to ruin people's lives. Because that's a completely normal human thing that some people do. You know, I'll have conflict with my friends and I'll make up my own profile of where I can get, you know, their schlong pics and throw them all online, because that's a completely normal thing and definitely not a criminal act. It's definitely not illegal. Now, I do just want to cut in and say that yes, Shane didn't go ahead with this plan. He eventually did end up deleting the account and going no further with it. But what just disturbs me is the fact that he even thought of this. He even tried to start this plan. That is quite disturbing and definitely not a normal thing that a normal functioning person actually starts to do. And if he ended up doing it, that would obviously be breaking the law, but as far as I know, and as far as Shane has said, he didn't do it. But yeah, overall, it's just disturbing that he even thought about doing that. Sorry, there's something absolutely baffling to me that Shane Dawson actually admitted to attempting to commit a terrible, terrible crime and then publishing that book to millions of people. I mean, it definitely shows that these people aren't like these master manipulators in boardrooms, because I don't think that somebody of that level of stupidity could be these evil overlords. I just think that these people are stupid and bad. But alas, I'm going to read you guys some extracts from this garbage book, and yeah, let's get into it. Inabber Book Reviews are back. If you want them to continue, let me know in the comments so you can have more of these videos. Hello everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Nap Nation Book Club. In today's episode, we shall be reviewing this absolute piece of garbage right here. Yes, this is a New York Times bestseller, but don't let that catch you off guard, because I'm pretty sure every single book on the entire fucking planet is a New York Times bestseller. Without further ado, let's get into it, and let's be a little bit louder. Hi, I'm Shane Dawson. Some of you may know me from my videos on the internet. Some of you might know me from the movie I directed entitled Not Cool. Yeah, judging on the box office, I don't think anybody knows you from that, mate. For the record, I don't really hate myself, but I do hate the way that I portray myself online. It's quite interesting that you can go back to a piece of content from Shane Dawson, even in 2014 and 2015, and it shows that even back then, he was most definitely putting on a facade on the internet, which he self-admits to in this book. It's interesting that content keeps coming up from the past exposing Shane Dawson, and that is something that happens. A lot of people get exposed for one recent thing, and then people start digging and finding pretty heinous criminal things. Now, this isn't the criminal thing, this is just kind of entertaining to me because it shows that his online persona wasn't real, but this is where we get into the criminal stuff. Chapter 5, he basically goes on this monologue about how he was, you know, fat shamed by a group of bullies, and yeah, that is terrible. Personally, throughout my entire life, I have experienced the exact same thing. I still get comments on the internet saying, hey man, you look like you've put on weight. And I say, I've been in lockdown for 6 months. What do you expect? Me to be eating salads every day? No. If I want chicken, no, we're not going to go down the chicken nugget route, but I've experienced fat shaming. I have, and it sucks. Like, it's genuinely one thing that always will get me down. Even when I lose weight, I still never kind of realize that I guess I've lost weight. And it's kind of sad that society has, I guess in the past, pressured me into losing weight so I don't get bullied. Like, that's absolutely bizarre to me. So yeah, I've dealt with that, and I've dealt with it in legal ways. But Shane Dawson dealt with that by planning to commit serious crimes to get revenge. Totally normal. That night, I logged back onto MySpace. How could I use their interests against them? What did they like to do? Well, from our chat that day, I discovered that they loved drugs, animal abuse, and hooking up with girls from AIM. Then it hit me like an 18-wheeler through a school hallway. I could pretend to be a girl on AIM and ruin their lives. Oh yeah, that's a totally normal thought. You know, when I was 18 years old, I also planned to ruin my schoolmates' lives. Right? So then, ironically enough, Shane Dawson created a fake persona called Carol, which he thought was apparently a sexy name. I don't exactly think Carol is the most alluring name. I don't hear Carol and I think, yes, you. No offense to Carols at all, and I'm not going to go any further. I don't have anything against Carols. I know a Carol, I think. You're alright, Carol. You're alright. But then yes, he went onto Google and said he found pictures which he searched up with high school girl horse sluts and used some random girl to do this. My plan was to get the most unflattering picture of the kids, well, you know what, and printed out hundreds of them and post them around the school the next day. So yeah, I don't think we really need to go any further. What he's admitting to there, if he did that, would have been a crime. Now, I don't believe Shane actually did that, but it really shows his mentalities, even from his younger ages, have been pretty terrible. Now, if this was a thing that he admitted to and he completely changed up his ways and he realised it's an absolutely awful thing, then sure, but recent years have shown that this guy still is a bad person. Bad person for different reasons, sure, but it's clear in my opinion that this guy has been bad from the very beginning. Not just 2010, but also the early 2000s. I mean, how could you be a bad person in the early 2000s? You've got Blink-182 in their prime, Sum 41. What more do you want? But no, you've got to start illegal revenge crimes.
Hey, what's up, you guys? Yes, it is that time again where I go into Barnes & Nobles and ask, where's the YouTuber book section? And the lady goes, really? Are you sure you don't want the self-help section?
Ironic.
Now, the main reason I'm showing you guys this book and extracts from it is, number one, it's really funny. Like, to see the genuine points that this guy has gone to in the past, to me, it's extremely entertaining. But also, I think it really does come also back down to this guy's career being over. Because with him being exposed so much in the last few, months, not really so much years, but in the last 10 months, I feel like a lot of people are now digging into his past and finding a lot of things which I kind of am a bit concerned to why we never questioned that when it first came out. Like, when I saw this extract from this book, I thought, why has nobody ever called this out before this week? I'm genuinely a little bit confused, actually. I get comments saying, hey, can we stop talking about this guy? And I'd say, yeah, sure, if he didn't have hundreds of thousands of fans who are blissfully unaware of the things that Shane Dawson has done. Because that's the thing, a lot of Shane's fans definitely don't have Twitter and Instagram. Some people just, watch select few curators and they go blissfully aware about some people. I don't know about you guys, but sometimes I've been a fan of a curator for like months, and then I found out, oh shit, they're actually a really bad person, and I had absolutely no idea, because this is what these facades do. This is what, when he pretends to be an empath, when he plays up to be this nice, quirky person, a lot of people are going to be thinking, well, yeah, he can't be a person that in the past is... tried to get revenge on his schoolmates by getting inappropriate images of them and planning to post them around the school. You know, that's something which you wouldn't really expect if you saw Shane Dawson and merely his YouTube content. And it's not like this book is some form of fictional thing. I Hate Myself is a memoir by Shane Dawson released on March the 10th, 2015. In it, he recounts 18 of his most embarrassing and inspiring life stories. And overall, I am pretty much perplexed at what fueled him to release this book. What fueled Shane Dawson to publish to his millions of followers a New York Times bestseller that he, when he was younger, tried to, I guess, do revenge? Why would you tell millions of people that? Like, even if you did, why? I guess it shows that he's either stupid or had some god complex which made him think he could get away with everything. Let me know in the comments which ones you think it is. Now, on the other side of things, there have been a lot of videos coming out recently about Shane's treatment of his other friends, such as Garrett Watts, and whilst I actually think most of these clips are pretty harmless, it does just seem that Shane and his friends are having a laugh and playing up for the camera. But I do agree that in some cases there are parts where Shane Dawson has been a dick to some of his friends in his videos. Yes, most of it is playing up for the camera, but with so much coming out about this guy, I just really don't know what to think about him, because as more comes out, it just gets worse and worse. As I said in my previous video, this is Mr. Empath, who admitted that he wants to stay friends with the guy, Jeffree Star, who was happy that a teenager, James Charles, was going to lose his career and have his life ruined by false accusations which them guys pushed. So with that situations and now this book alone, I feel like a lot of this is pretty career ending. I feel like if any other creator admitted to doing half of these things, they would be done. I mean, can you imagine if Zoella released a book where she said, yeah, one time I got called fat in school and then I decided to, you know, do revenge porn to get payback. I think Zoella would be cancelled like that, but you know, I guess with Shane Dawson at this point, it's he's done so much, it's not even shocking at this point. I find it absolutely bizarre that he printed this, but also I find it absolutely bizarre that Shane basically on public stages swapped his friendship with Garrett Watts for Jeffree Star. It's one of the most bizarre exchanges of a public friendship that I've ever seen, and ultimately did also lead to Shane Dawson's downfall. Jeffree Star is the main reason. Overall, with all of these things coming out, the numbers going down, the community go against him, more friends going against him, it does sound like a little bit dehumanizing to put it all down to numbers, but ultimately that is the case with Shane Dawson's YouTube career. I really don't believe that he can come back from this. Like, if you look at all the numbers and you look at the community outreach, it really, on a numbers basis, makes no sense for Shane to come back, start getting 30 million views a video again. But then again, we've been proven wrong in the past. I'm just making a wild guess and a wild assumption that Shane Dawson's career, from every angle, books to behind the scenes and movie recordings, Trisha Paytas, everywhere, I simply cannot see with where social media is going that Shane Dawson will ever come back to where he was in around 2018. But then again, the internet forgets about absolutely everything, so yeah, who knows. That is the ending of the video though. Thank you so much for coming along. I promise you I will be getting back into uploading consistently because I love making YouTube videos. I love streaming on Twitch and on YouTube. So yes, if you want more, just let me know in the comments. Go give me some nice compliments because I really like that and it would boost the algorithm. So that's great. Please like this video. Get it to like 50,000 likes. That would be amazing. Whenever I make a video on a Shane and his crazy followers come here and dislike bomb them. So please don't forget to like this video. Please don't forget to subscribe. That would be absolutely amazing. And my social medias are inabber69 on Twitter and inabber on Instagram. That is the ending of the video. I'm now going to go sleep. Peace out, and I will see you later. You are breaking the rules. You've broken the rules in the past.